either you support women or you don't. And I'm not talking about the trans argument right now.
Not only is it not a silly term, it is true that most of the political pundit women on the right are covert feminists. And I'll just ask you the same exact question I asked Tommy.
Because the word feminism got hijacked.
Let me finish the question. Let me finish the question. No, I'm talking about all the way back to first wave feminism. Okay, you are feminists, and I'll explain by asking you the same question. If it is men's duty in society to procure, refine, protect resources, which then women and children are the primary beneficiaries of, which they are. What societal duty, which is equal to that, do women have? What is it?
Andrew Wilson went on Piers Morgan Uncensored and absolutely annihilated this panel of woke feminists, as you can see on the screen. This is going to be just an absolute pleasure to watch. I can't wait, guys. Definitely going to be so fun to hear these fat women talk about things, opinions that they have. I can't wait. But I can't wait to see Andrew Wilson put them in their place and shut them up. Let's get into this clip here where Andrew Wilson annihilates this entire panel of woke feminists here live on Piers Morgan Uncensored.
If you look at how men vote, they vote against this nonsense. And it's fathers who are on the front lines against it. It's women who are trying to transition the children, not men. Give me a case example of where male fathers are trying to transition their kids. It doesn't exist. It's a female-only phenomenon. Literally a female-only phenomenon.
That is insane.
Yeah, show me one male father who's fighting in the courts to transition their son to a girl.
Actually,
Nowhere.
I made a podcast series
I see men on
about
TikTok
this.
that are diseased.
I interviewed quite a few fathers that are pushing for this. But the point is that this is something that benefits men, and it's men that are the ones that are saying they're women. They are all of a sudden the oppressed, and feminists like me are the oppressor, and that they're too weak and pathetic to fight and play against other men. And what do? They come and beat up on women.
Do you vote left, ma'am?
I don't know what vote left means.
Do you vote for the left-wing party of your nation?
Do you vote for Democrats?
Do you vote for what would be considered the Democrats of your nation?
No, I wouldn't have voted for the Democrats. I would not have voted for the disgrace of that party, and I also wouldn't have voted for Trump. But the point is,
if we look, let me finish. We'll follow up very quickly.
We live in a different context.
What I'm saying to you is this: it's very simple. If you look at the voting patterns of women in both the UK and the United States, they're usually the deciding vote when it comes to degeneracy. That includes it includes on the trans issue. So here you are. It's the very thing that you push for empowerment of women that is now causing your very problem. You have to now convince women. Men are already there. Men have already said, nope, we don't want this. We never wanted it. It's garbage.
To be women.
Yeah, apart from the women who are claiming to be men, which now it's almost equalized. Remember that part? Right? This phenomenon, though, is categorically rejected by men and reinforced by women. And TERFs like you did everything that you could possibly do in order to push that. You did everything you could do to push that. And now you get to reap the whirlwind. So I don't care if women in their sports teams are getting their teeth kicked in. I don't care. Reap what you sow. As you sow, so shall you reap. And you get exactly what you deserve.
You seem like a lovely person.
I'm sorry that you have to deal with the consequences of your own actions.
I love it, man. I fully agree with Andrew Wilson there, by the way. I think the whole, women and men's sports, like men and women's sports getting got kind of like conjoined, they're kind of molding together. I think it's absolutely hilarious to watch because now you're forced into one of two camps. You're forced to have one of these two opinions, right? If you're on the woke side, you either have to admit that men dominate women in sports and you have to go ahead and say, okay, let's stop this nonsense. Or you have to sit back and just let the men absolutely annihilate the women in every sport. Either way, it's glorious to watch because number one, we get our point proven that men dominate women in sports because of just physicality and just the way that genetics work. Or number two, they have to admit the fact that genetics work that way and the human biology works that way, and they have to stop pushing for the nonsense. So I'm with Andrew Wilson here in what he's saying to this Piers Morgan lookalike with Piers Morgan with a wig on. And I'd say just let it keep happening. I love it. It's glorious to watch. I've always said that. So I'm curious to see what you guys say in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with what Andrew Wilson's saying right here?
On the subject of it, because Andrew made a lot of news on social media with his debate with Tommy Lahren
last week after accusing her of being a covert feminist. Let's remind people of that clip which went viral.
Most men are born to be protectors and providers. I can't imagine my dad saying, you know what, to my mom, you know what, I'm not going to be a protector and a provider unless you do this. That's not how real men operate. Real men are protectors and providers, and they marry women who hopefully have some virtue, but also bring a lot to the table as well, that are great mothers, great wives, caretakers of the home. There's nothing wrong with being a traditional wife and mother.
So, Emily, where do you sit? Are you a covert feminist like Tommy? Did you agree with Andrew's assessment?
It's actually so tiring to hear this shit. It's like, you're not a real man unless you like a strong, independent boss babe. It's like, okay, I guess I'm not a real man then. You know, it's like, why are you the arbiter of what is a real man or not? I'm not going to ever tell someone, hey, I'm only going to protect and provide you if you cook and clean and things like that. I'm never going to tell someone that. I'm just not going to do it unless you do what you're supposed to do. Simple as that. I'm never going to have the stipulations written down on a piece of paper, but if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, I'm leaving. And I'm definitely not protecting and providing. I'm not going to risk my life for someone who's not willing to wash the dishes for me. But I guess I'm not a real man, according to Tommy Loren. It's all just so tiresome, man. It's like, respect to Andrew Wilson for willing to be like have these arguments, but for me, it's like, I'm just gonna sit back and like let these idiot feminists do whatever they want to do. Like, say whatever you want to say. Call me not a real man. I don't care. I'm tired of arguing with you. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just gonna live my life the way I want to live it. And if it offends you, it is what it is. But let's see what Andrew Wilson has to say.
I'm not a covert feminist. I am very outwardly, the word feminism has been hijacked by like the woke left, who uses it as an excuse for psychotic women and liberals to scream on the streets, we want equal rights when we have equal rights. I'm more so an empowered woman who encourages other women to, be independent, work hard, chase your dreams. And that doesn't come at the expense of being feminine. It doesn't come at the expense of, now, as a feminist, you need to eradicate all men. I don't think everything is so black or white. Listening to that debate, they spoke a bit about gender roles, and here's my take on that. If you're going to have gender role expectations for your man, that's a personal choice. Emily Austin has high expectations of her man. He has to be working hard. He should be successful. He should, pay attention to how I feel. Like, there should be certain gender roles. He has to provide for the family, not solely, but he should be providing for his family. These are gender roles. As a woman, I learned how to cook. I know how to clean. My grandmother always tells me, my mother tells me, Emily, you're going to be a good wife. You're going to be loyal. You're going to be supportive. You're going to act like a lady. Now, there's many women who don't want to play into the gender roles, which is fine. But then don't expect your man to go out and become masculine. I think it's equal. Like, set the expectation and then date people who meet your expectation. But in terms of covert feminism, first of all, it's such a silly term. Either you support women or you don't. And I'm not talking about the trans argument right now.
Not only is it not a silly term, it is true that most of the political pundit women on the right are covert feminists. And I'll just ask you the same exact question I asked Tommy.
Because the word feminism got hijacked.
Let me finish the question. Let me finish the question. No, I'm talking about all the way back to first wave feminism. Okay, you are feminists, and I'll explain by asking you the same question. If it is men's duty in society to procure, refine, protect resources, which then women and children are the primary beneficiaries of, which they are. What societal duty, which is equal to that, do women have? What is it?
Women, we're going to have children. Men will never understand the burden of carrying a child.
So you have a duty to reproduce?
I expect women to be able to cook and clean.
Wait, so women have a duty to reproduce?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So that's the one duty that's on par. Great. So that's one duty that's on par with that. I totally agree. Are they? Or is it the case that in every single nation in the West, we are under reproductive rates in every single one of them? In every single nation in the West, we are lower than where we need to be for reproduction. So it seems that men are fulfilling their social duty and women are not. And the problem with the right is that the right doesn't ever address this, and right-wing females never address this. Instead, they say it's equal. Work and motherhood are equal. They're not equal. Not only are they not equal, but let me give you another example here. As you dive into this, try to understand that what you do is you actually hamstring women by telling women they should go and be girl boss babes and go to college starting in their 20s. They actually destroyed their prime reproductive years. They destroy them by having families later. It's the primary
Okay, that's
cause.
silly. I'm 23.
Hang on, listen.
Not
It's
having
the
a kid anytime
primary
soon.
cause
My
for the
kids will be just fine.
reproduction crisis. It's the primary cause of the reproduction crisis in the West, is that with women defer families till they're in their 30s. Why do you think the average age of marriage is 32 in the United States? I think it just got raised to 33. Yes, you're going to have way less kids. Okay, part of girl bossing is when you say career women are right on par with mothers. They're not, and society should be glorifying one, not socially shaming the other, but you shouldn't give them the same elevation you give to mothers and matrons of families. That is pure covert feminism.
Okay.
Damn, Andrew, dude, he's absolutely cooking this whole panel here. You could tell that they don't like it very much because they all are, you know, they're fitting into the mold that Andrew Wilson is saying they shouldn't be fitting into, or they shouldn't be celebrated for fitting into. The problem is he's completely correct. I hope he continues to call out these people because they all are covert feminists. They are. Megyn Kelly, Tommy Loren. I don't even know who this girl's name is right here, but I'm pretty sure she's been on Piers Morgan quite a bit. She's pretty prominent. So her too. You know, she's agreeing with these people. So they are all covert feminists, and they need to be called out for it. And the problem is, if you're trying to say that you're not a covert feminist and you're trying to debate someone like Andrew Wilson, he's going to embarrass you because he is in the right. And he wouldn't make a strong claim like that unless he had a lot to back it up. And I mean, I'm in full agreement with him. I'm curious to see what you guys say in the comments, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you are going to be pretty mad at what Andrew Wilson's saying right here. Let me know in the comments, though, what you guys think about Andrew Wilson taking down this entire panel of woke feminists here live on Piers Morgan Uncensored.